Malaysia-China bilateral trade hits $96.3 billion in 2017. Government launches National Action Plan to combat antibiotic resistance. Welcome to News on 2. I'm Renee Fong. The bilateral trade between Malaysia and China has been nothing but fruitful for investors of both countries in spite of uncertain global economy, recording a total of $96.3 billion in 2017. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak said several partnerships between both nations had brought positive impact to Malaysia's economy, and he welcomes the establishment of more partnerships that would help develop Malaysia into a high-income and high-skilled nation in the future. Among those successes was the establishment of the China-Malaysia Xinzhou Industrial Park and the Malaysia-China Kuantan Industrial Park between 2012 and 2013, which had created over 4,000 jobs. The Premier added that 49% of both projects are held by a Malaysian consortium, which is jointly owned by Rimbunan Hijau Group and SP Setia Berhad.
Connected with this, the Kuantan Port Expansion Project Phase 1, which is being developed by Guangxi Beibu Gulf International Port Group Company Limited, which will see its capacity rise from 45,000 deadweight tonnage to 120,000, will also be completed by June.
Datuk Seri Najib said this today in his speech at the Malaysia-China Bilateral Cooperation Lunar New Year luncheon in the capital. Datuk Seri Najib also announces that over 2,000 entrepreneurs of small and medium enterprises SME have registered with the Digital Free Trade Zone DFTZ, and the number is expected to rise up to 10,000 by year-end. The DFTZ in Aeropolis of the Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA is the first regional hub of Chinese e-commerce giant Alibaba Group outside China. The initiative is aimed to benefit to both Malaysia and China as well as SME entrepreneurs wanting to expand their businesses.
The joint cooperation between Malaysia and China in establishing the Digital Free Trade Zone, the first in the world outside China, is another win-win project. And we appreciate the confidence the Alibaba Group has shown in Malaysia by partnering with us on this innovative hub.
Datuk Seri Najib added that the participation of SMEs in the initiative could also make Malaysia a regional hub for global brands to reach ASEAN buyers. The National Action Plan to Combat Antibiotic Resistance 2017 to 2021, launched by both the Health Ministry and the Ministry of Agriculture and Agro-Based Industry in Putrajaya today, is aimed at creating awareness about the responsible use of antibiotics. According to Health Minister Datuk Seri Dr. S. Subramaniam, the implementation of the action plan will integrate several components, namely human and animal health, the food chain and the environment.
Kita akan pastikan antibiotik digunakan secara rasional mengikut ketetapan yang telah disediakan, kalau di veterinary oleh Jabatan Veterinary, kalau di dalam Kementerian Kesihatan, di dalam our antibiotic stewardship program dan sebagainya, mengikut garis panduan dan guideline.
Meanwhile, Minister of Agriculture and Agro-Based Industry, Datuk Seri Ahmad Shabri Chik, said the action plan will encompass 4 crucial areas, which are awareness, monitoring, prevention and education towards the proper use of antibiotics.
Jadi, bab-bab perkara ini perlu diadakan secara serentak, secara komprehensif, bukan sahaja di Kementerian Kesihatan, tapi kami di Kementerian Pertanian yang menghasilkan makanan untuk orang ramai. Kita juga bertanggungjawab untuk melaksanakan program ini.
Antibiotics are included in the list of controlled drugs under the Poisons Act 1952 and can only be prescribed by registered medical professionals, registered dental professionals and veterinary officers. The cooperation between 7 ministries through the National Blue Ocean Strategy NBOS to enhance the technical and vocational education and training TVET in Malaysia is in line with the government's aspiration to meet the demand for additional skilled workers. Education Minister Datuk Seri Mat Zee Khalid says this was because it is expected that by 2020, there would be an increase in demand of up to 35% for TVET graduates. Datuk Seri Mat Zee said the ministries involved are the Education Ministry, Higher Education Ministry, Human Resources Ministry, Youth and Sports Ministry, Rural and Regional Development Ministry, Works Ministry and Agriculture and Agro-Based Ministry. He said each ministry will have its own institution and committee to ensure there is no overlapping of duties.
Dan bila mewujudkan workforce yang berkemahiran, maknanya ada bidang masing-masing. Salah satu bidang yang paling popular lah sebenarnya adalah yang berkaitan dengan services, perhotelan dan juga kulinari, yang semuanya ada kaitan dengan pelancongan lah. Itu antara bidang yang masing-masing ada package lah yang telah ditawarkan, sama ada di peringkat persijilan, diploma ataupun ijazah.
In addition to general education, TVET also includes formal and informal learning, the study of technologies and related sciences, as well as the acquisition of practical skills, attitudes, understanding and knowledge relating to occupations in various sectors of economics and social life. The Kedah government has announced that domestic consumers whose monthly water usage is below 20 cubic meters or 10 ringgit will enjoy water for free. Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Ahmad Bashar Mat Hanifah said this is to help reduce the people's burden while educating them on the need for water conservation.
Walaupun kita terpaksa kena belanja 1.5 juta sebulan, setahun 18 juta, tapi kita rasa itu berbaloi untuk nak mengajak rakyat untuk membantu kerajaan supaya jimat penggunaan air. Karena ke depan ni air ni lagi mahal.
Datuk Seri Ahmad Bashar was speaking to reporters after launching the Kedah State Level World Water Day in Alor Star. The free water provision was announced at the Kedah Budget 2018 and will benefit over 221,000 domestic users. MIC has refuted the allegations made by the opposition that some 300,000 Malaysian Indians do not have citizenship papers. That party's Vice President Senator Datuk T. Mohan said that to date, MIC has received 12,000 citizenship applications. Of that number, 7,000 had been approved, while the rest are under consideration. Datuk Mohan stressed that the government had successfully addressed the citizenship issue and are always aware of the matter. He also highlighted the fact that it has always been the opposition's tactics to attack the government and spread lies when the general election is drawing near.
Tak betul itu tipu, betul-betul tipu. Itu je dia orang boleh buat. Masa kita jumpa dia mereka, bawalah 300,000 orang mana-mana kita sedia, jabatan sedia untuk menerima dia untuk permohonan. Tak dapat datang. Itu semua inilah satu cara yang selalu pembangkang buatlah.
He said this during a citizenship awarding ceremony to Malaysian Indians in Pulau Pinang. The complete 2050 National Transformation TN50 Youth Aspiration Report will be submitted to the Prime Minister tomorrow night before it will be explained to the people. Youth and Sports Minister Khairi Jamaluddin says the report covers more than 60,000 aspirations of Malaysian youths for 2050, which will serve as a guideline for the development of the country's youth policy. Khairi said one of the strongest aspirations that have come through is that the youths wants to see sustainable urban cities instead of the urban planning of the past where there was no connectivity and the planning was haphazard.
Malam esok saya dah tunjuk laporan ke Yang Berhormat Perdana Menteri, tapi laporan tu agak tebal. So saya dah bagi rumusan, saya dah bagi taklimat sikit rumusan kepada Yang Berhormat PM berkenaan dengan laporan tersebut. Laporan akan kita serahkan besok. Laporan TN50 tidak dicetak, tidak ada langsung laporan fizikal sebab dia TN50, dia semua paperless. So kalau datang besok minta laporan memang tak ada. We printed 0 copies.
The 2050 National Transformation was launched by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak on 26 May 2017, which will serve as a national discourse series geared towards charting the nation's direction via new canvas as well as with par excellent mindset. Results of the 2017 Sijil Tinggi Persekolahan Malaysia STPM will be released on March 6th. According to a statement issued by the Malaysian Examinations Council, school candidates can get their results at their respective schools on March 6 beginning 12 noon, while private candidates will receive them via mail. Candidates can also check their results through SMS by typing STPM result space their IC number and send it to 15888 or via the Malaysian Examinations Council website at www.mpm.edu.my from 12 noon on March 6. A total of 43,042 candidates set for the STPM in 2017 at 700 examination centres nationwide. Of the total, 42,694 were public school candidates, 204 from private schools, 136 private candidates and 8 candidates were from state government schools. Coming up, 142 nabbed in anti-narcotics operation in Johor Bahru. You stay with me, Renee Fong. 142 locals were arrested by the Narcotics Crime Investigation Department officers during an operation dubbed Ops Sarang, which was conducted yesterday. The operation was a joint effort with Bukit Aman Special Tactical Intelligence Narcotics Group Sting and the National Anti-Drug Agency AADK, which raided 3 drug dens around Johor Bahru. According to Sting Principal Assistant Director SAC Baharum Othman, 105 of the detainees aged between 20 and 60 were tested positive for the heroin and methamphetamine. The operation took place from 4 a.m. to 11 a.m. involving raids in Kampung Melayu Pandan Seri Alam and Kampung Ubi, Johor Bahru.
Semasa tangkapan ni buat, dia orang sedang menuju ke sesuatu tempat untuk mendapatkan bekalan dadah, macam itulah. Kawasan perumahan Stinggan.
All those who were tested positive for drugs are being investigated under Section 3, Subsection 1 of the Drug Dependence Treatment and Rehabilitation Act 1983, while 3 of the detainees are being investigated under Section 12, Subsection 2 of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952 for drugs possession. Five men, including 3 Indian nationals, could be facing the death penalty after they were charged in the Rembau Magistrates Court today for the alleged trafficking of shabu. The charge sheet was read before Magistrate Tan Chai Wei. The accused were alleged to have distributed 68.2 kilograms of shabu at a farm along Jalan Pilin, Kampung Kundur, Tengah Pedar Rembau at 4:15 p.m. on February 13th. During the raid, police also seized various drug processing, paraphernalia and chemicals, including 84 kilograms of liquid meth, which could be used to produce 33.6 kilograms of shabu. They were charged under Section 39B, Subsection 1 of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952 and punishable under Section 39B, Subsection 2 of the same Act, read together with the Section 34 of the Penal Code, which carries the mandatory death sentence upon conviction. The break-ins at the homes of 3 Melaka politicians that occurred between December last year and February this year were not in any way connected. State Police Chief Dato Abdul Jalil Hassan said the break-ins were ordinary criminals cases that had taken place while the victims had left their homes unattended for a long period of time.
okey, apabila mereka balik pada bercuti, rumah mereka telah berselerak dan kerugian telah dialami oleh ketiga-tiga ahli politik tersebut. Cuma kita ingin menasihatkan kepada siapa saja, bukan saja ahli politik, jangan menunggu pada musim perayaan. Maklum pada pihak polis yang berdekatan jika mereka akan meninggalkan rumah mereka dalam tempoh masa yang lama.
Dato' Abdul Jalil added that investigations on the cases are still ongoing. A police officer in Malacca was detained for investigations by the MACC today for soliciting a 6,000 ringgit bribe to release an individual who was detained for a drug offence yesterday. The 53-year-old surgeon was detained based on a complaint made by a member of the public at the Tanjong Kling police station yesterday. MACC Director Abu Talib Othman said the investigations will be carried out to ascertain if the alleged transaction actually took place.
Kita tak boleh nak takut kes tu tiada kesalahan walaupun siasatan sedang dijalankan. Siasatan dijalankan mestilah adil kan. Kita tak boleh nak nanya orang. So biar the investigation complete first, after that baru kita boleh.
Abu Talib was speaking after launching the Malacca-level Friends of the Anti-Corruption Movement Gerah in Sekolah Kebangsaan Teluk Mas today. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC in Johor plans to recruit more than 500,000 students in the state to join its anti-corruption revolution movement Gerah this year. The recruitment will involve 1,183 primary and secondary schools across the state. Johor MACC Director Dato' Azmi Alia said each registered student will receive a membership card which can also be used to purchase school equipment and selected books. The program is a joint venture initiative between the MACC and the State's Education Department as part of efforts to create awareness against corruption among students.
Saya akan bekerjasama dengan Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri untuk memastikan bahawa pegawai-pegawai anak-anak murid dia atas persetujuan ibu bapa untuk mendaftar sebagai sahabat cilik Gerah. Dan ada perks yang disebutkan tadi lah. Perks yang tentang pembelian buku dan sebagainya itu kita akan update, ada update masa ke masa.
Dato' Azmi said this after launching the Gerah Cilik program at Sekolah Kebangsaan Sri Terbau, Johor Bahru. So far, more than 6,000 students have already registered with the Gerah program. Senior Australian police officer resigns over offensive online posts. That and more coming up in our foreign segment. And that concludes this evening's News on 2. In our top story, government launches a national action plan to combat antibiotic resistance. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Renee Loretta Fong. Stay tuned to TV2 and have a pleasant evening.